Hey everyone, in today's video, we're talking about how increasing the full retirement age for Social Security actually cuts benefit payments. Now, increasing the full retirement age has been one of the long-standing proposals to help save Social Security and keep it solvent for generations to come. Now, if you've ever thought that a possible Social Security fix may only impact those with a high income, and you don't need to worry about that, you need to watch this video because this is a plan that will impact everyone. But before we jump into that, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe and hit that notifications bell too. There's some big changes coming to Social Security, and when they get close to being signed into law, I'll be talking about them right here on this channel. And if you're subscribed, you'll know as soon as I release a new video. Oh, also, be sure to get a copy of my retirement planning cheat sheet. This is brand new for 2021. This is the sheet where I've taken the most important retirement plan limits and rules, tax tables, and lots of other important information and condensed it down to just one page. Now, this is the first year I've made this, but I'll update it every year. And as long as you stay on my email list, I'll send you the newest version every year as soon as I update it. Now, I'm sure you'll agree that something needs to be done about Social Security. We're now within 13 to 15 years of facing the real possibility of benefit cuts. Most projections suggest that benefits are going to have to be cut by around 25% if nothing is done. And most people simply cannot afford this. Think about this for a minute. In 2020, the average Social Security benefit was $1,503. If that was cut by 25%, the average benefit would go down to $1,128. The federal poverty guideline in 2020 was $1,063. So if there's an across-the-board 25% cut to Social Security benefits, the average recipient's benefit is only going to be $65 more than the poverty line. Now, needless to say, something needs to be done before this cut happens. While the wheels of change are moving painfully slow, both political parties have suggested multiple fixes in an effort to make sure that these cuts don't happen. But so far, they've just been suggestions. No one has actually been able to get an active proposal on the floor for a vote. But in all of these proposals that have been suggested, there are two that continue to come up over and over and over. So, for example, the Democrats, they tend to favor increasing the taxable earnings cap. Now, I have a video that discusses this proposal in more detail, but essentially this would just be a tax increase on higher income individuals. But the Republicans' most discussed plan, which is what we're going to talk about in this video, is to increase the full retirement age. The rationale for this is that the full retirement age hasn't been adjusted since the 1983 amendments, and the system needs to adjust for increasing life expectancies. And when you look at the data, they have a valid point. In 1940, life expectancy for a 65-year-old was 76.9 years for a man and 78.4 for a woman. Since that time, life expectancy has risen by more than 6 years for 65-year-olds to 83.1 years for men and 85.6 years for women. So a promise to provide retired workers with a certain monthly benefit for the rest of their lives, which is what Social Security does, is now significantly more expensive than the same commitment in 1940, because now we have individuals that are living longer and these payments are being paid for a lot longer. Now, if you stop there, it makes lots of sense to raise the full retirement age as the Republicans are suggesting. But as with everything, there would be a few unintended consequences. For example, if the full retirement age is increased, that means that the corresponding reduction for filing earlier would be steeper as well. So currently, if your full retirement age is 67 and you file at 62, you'll receive 70% of your full retirement age benefit amount. Now, if the full retirement age is raised to 70 and all the reductions stay the same, an individual would only receive about 55% of their full retirement age benefit at 62. So to put this into numbers, imagine that an individual's full retirement age benefit is $2,000. If the full retirement age is 67, the reduction for filing at 62 would be $600, which would result in a benefit of $1,400. If the full retirement age was increased to 70 an individual filing at 62 would only receive 55% of their full retirement age benefit. This means that the reduction for filing at 62 would be $900, which would result in a benefit of $1,100. Now, one of the big questions here is whether the filing behaviors would change, because currently about 33% of all retirees simply file at the earliest age possible, age 62. And if this continued, if people continue to file at that earliest age possible, we'd see more seniors with household incomes under the poverty line and possibly a further drain on other government programs to help meet their needs. Now, some have suggested that the fix for this is to increase the minimum age of eligibility to around 65. And if this happens, you could see a scenario where more individuals may begin to file for disability benefits. Because remember, those are not reduced for your filing age. If you're 60 and you file for disability benefits, you're going to receive your full retirement age benefit, roughly speaking. And then when you look at the statistic that nearly half of all workers leave work earlier than they expected to, and 61% of those individuals cite health reasons for leaving. That means that 30% of all workers are leaving work earlier than they wanted to, and it's for health reasons. And if the only Social Security benefit that's available in your early 60s is disability, I would expect those applications to skyrocket. And if the Social Security Administration saw a big uptick in the number of disability cases, well, that could easily dampen the cost-saving effect of having increased the full retirement age. Now, those opposed to the idea of increasing the full retirement age say that though raising that retirement age affects everyone equally in a very rough sense, it does affect incomes unequally. This is because those with a low income tend to depend on the income from Social Security more than those with a high income. This is one of the reasons that the Democrats say they will not accept this as a standalone plan, because the impact would be greatest on low-income individuals. My opinion is that the full retirement age benefit will be increased, but as part of an overall solution to shore up the Social Security Trust Fund. Now, how much it will increase is likely the only question that remains. I suspect that it's going to be raised by a small amount, and it's going to take several years to get there, much like it did with the last amendments, the 1983 amendments, and we're still feeling the impact of those increasing full retirement ages. So you could probably see by now that the fix just isn't as easy as it seems on the surface. There are so many things to think about here, but as new proposals come out and are made, legislators dream up new ideas, I'll make videos on them, and if you're subscribed to this channel, you'll know it as soon as it's released. Also remember, this is your retirement. Continue to learn about how to make the most out of it by using the resources like the cheat sheet I've created. There's a link for it down in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.